Hello everyone, I'm Dionysios and we're together with Orlando. And tonight, Orlando, I would like to ask you this. Okay, we have cleared that you're not supposed to die for your clients, but
Hopefully.
well, hopefully. But there are people that are taught to just dive in front of the guy they're protecting, the client, and get a bullet for the client. Is this what they should be doing? Covering the client with their body?
Not really.
Okay.
This goes back to, and I think the original video where I spoke about this is the difference between Secret Service, etc., government protection, and commercial protection. Government protection, the guys that protected Ronald Reagan, etc., yeah, they jumped in front of the shooter, took the bullets, etc. Okay, they're protecting the President of the United States. And as I said in the original video, they'll be taken care of, etc., etc. But they're also working in large teams. There's somebody to evacuate, there's somebody to do this, etc. Commercially, the chances are you'll be working with yourself or with somebody else. Look at my video on formations. I talk about why you're not going to be using large formations. They're too expensive. If you're working by yourself with the client or in a small team, 2 or 3 people max, and this is common sense. If you don't believe me, go try it. If something happens, you're not going to have time to do a lot of the fancy CP drills. You're not going to have time to twirl the client around and jump in front of them and all the rest of it. By the time you realize there's a problem, you're going to be taking rounds or you'll be taking a knife. So this is where if all you've been taught to do is jump in front of the client and shield the client, then whoever taught you that is, I will say, has little experience or knowledge of the real commercial close protection world. There are other things you can do. You get the client out the way, you deal with the threat, etc. Depends on the scenario. Depends on the situation. Depends on your manpower. Depends where you are. Depends if you're armed. Depends if you're unarmed. A lot of variables. One thing a lot of people don't realize as well when they talk about body cover. Okay, let's say somebody's coming at you with a knife, you jump in front of your client. They stick the knife in your throat, they've just killed you, and then they can kill the client. Simple, right? Let's say somebody's coming at you with a firearm. If the chances are, if you don't see the firearm until the firearm's pointing in your direction, even if you have a firearm, you won't have time to deploy it. You'll be taking rounds. Now people say, well, I wear a bulletproof vest. The bulletproof vest would stop the rounds going into the client. Okay, but let's say you're shot in the head, right? That round will go through your head into the client. Let's say you're shot in the legs. Those rounds will go through your legs into the client's legs. Most vests only take a certain amount of rounds. Let's use Latin American criminal SOPs. They're carrying, let's say, Glocks, high capacity magazines, happy switches, which is the fully auto switch on the back. Right, they're putting, if they're using 9s, the Glock 17s, 19s, they can put 32 rounds in your direction in a couple of seconds. Okay, out of those 32 rounds, those rounds will be going into you and through the client. They will be penetrating your vest, they will kill you. Now, that's pistols. In a lot of places, the criminal's favorite weapon is going to be an AK-47, some type of assault rifle. If you're wearing a concealable vest, those rounds will go straight through you into the client. So body cover, if all you're doing is jumping in front of the client, you're going to get hit. Even if you're wearing, and this is where people will argue, well, yeah, but we're wearing plates. Okay, you're not going to be walking around all day in a suit with plates on. Okay?
What environments?
What environment, etc., etc. Even if you got plates on, if you're shot in the head, you're dead. The client's wide open. If you're shot in the legs, your femur's broken, you're going to the floor, the client's wide open. So this is where, to me, all the body cover stuff is complete. I won't say complete fantasy, as it has an application if you're working within large teams to shield the client and get them out of the way. It has an application for government protection. But if you're dealing individually, commercially with clients or in small teams, there's other things you can do.
So it's about context and not taken as every time the same solution.
Gospel. And this is where people say, oh, I jump in front of the client. If that's all you're trained to do, you've not been properly trained. And the people that's training you
are getting you killed.
And they're teaching BS because there's other options. We teach other options. I tend not to, I don't teach body cover because again, if you're working in anywhere where there's any threat, any risk, body cover is not going to work because you and the client together is just going to be one big target. Thank you very much. Be it a machete, be it a knife, machete, or firearm.
Okay. That was interesting. I hope it was also enlightening. I hope you enjoyed. And for anything you would like to know, there's always a comment section. That's all for tonight. Thank you very much.